Good evening, and welcome to Hanging with the Walkers. Here with my host and co-host, Rogers Walker.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Greetings.
Oh my goodness, I am excited. I am excited times two, and the reason I am excited times two is because my host and co-host, my good thing, is in the building with me, and I can reach out and touch. He's been MIA on the road trying to make sure the bills get paid and the lights stay on. And then we have the fabulous Miss PJ Jones that's hanging out with the Walkers on tonight, all the way from is it Costa or Costa Rica? Is it Costa?
It's Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Okay, got you. Well, welcome to Hanging with the Walkers. We are so excited that you are with us, hanging out with us, and here to bless those that will tap in on tonight to listen to your story as a survivor, not as a victim, but as a survivor on tonight.
Yes.
And you know what to do. Like, share, tag, tweet, put it on LinkedIn, call somebody, text somebody, message, inbox someone, let them know Hanging with the Walkers is now on. Get a good seat, hang on to your hats, and let's get healed on tonight.
That's right.
That's
right.
what I said. Let's get healed on tonight. And we already know that sometimes we say that we're healed, but there is a shield. There is not being able to truly let go, just saying it with our mouth and not with our mind, not with our spirit and our body. So welcome, Miss PJ Jones. And I got to say it because it just sounds good to me rolling off my tongue. PJ Jones, author. She is a holistic motivational empowerment strategist, life coach, holistic healer, NLP practitioner. And I know you've been wondering all day, what did that stand for? Neuro linguistic programming practitioner. I know you've been wanting to ask all day long, what is that? What does that mean? What does that stand for? So that's why I only put the initials so I can tantalize the audience on tonight. But she is a person. She's human and she survived. And this is what survival looks like. So please tell us a little bit about PJ Jones on tonight.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Walker. Again, like you say, I am all of those things, but again, yes, I am a human. I am a survivor. I am someone who's come from generational trauma, someone who knows what the worst looks like, but always hope for the best. I'm a resilient person who understood that life is not going to ever be easy, and I'm someone who's here to share my story to make a difference in this community and show that there's no shame in what you've gone through in life. And there's no shame in the mistakes that you made during your healing journey. And like you say, healing is this is what healing looks like, but it's not an easy battle. It's a battle. It's one that you have to be willing to fight. So that's kind of who I am. I'm someone who's wanting to share the real, raw, unapologetic truth about healing and what it looks like to get to even where I am. Because I can't even say I'm fully healed. I'm still working.
Well, the good part about it is now that they know that you are human, you're not AI, you are a real person that have been through some things, and that now is willing to be able to help other people in the midst of your storm, in the midst of what you've gone through, coming out of, looking back, having flashbacks, whatever you call it. But I'm here, like Celia said, dear God, I'm here to do what needs to be done on tonight. So that being said, we know what you've accomplished. We know your name, but what is the one thing through all of that that those that are close to you or near you don't know about PJ?
What they don't know is the struggle. I still struggle every single day.
Mhm.
Every single day, I still struggle to do what I do right now because I still, like you say, the flashbacks, the triggers. I came all the way to Costa Rica to try to start my healing journey, but there's still triggers that I have to deal with. I lost my son 2017. He passed away at 19. I still struggle every single day. And I choose. Everything I do is a decision. I choose to get up and allow myself to heal because every single day I have to get up and fight. I do my my meditation, my praying, my breath work. And I say, okay, today is going to be a day that I fight. That's a lot of things that people don't know about me because I'm always smiling. I'm always in a good place. They see the happiness. They see what I show them, but they don't see that I still every day fight. I still have to do what I have to do to heal. And I know that I'm a lot better than I was last year and the year before that. But today is a day that I decided I was going to get up and do something with myself to make sure
That's
this
it.
community is better. That's
That's
it.
it. Oh my goodness. Even through all of that, even through all of the teaching and education, the loss, teaching other people how to manifest, how to make it, how to survive. As you said, I still struggle.
Hmm.
Now, some people may be surprised to hear that. Some people may, even think to themselves, you know what? All she's been through, all the education, all the teaching that she's gone through,
Hmm.
why is she not, as the church says, delivered?
Mm, mm.
That
I
that
am
that's
delivered though, but I am
that's it.
because
That's
I'm
it.
not where I could be.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
am delivered because I could be in a hole somewhere, just
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not 100% healed the way someone says I should be, doesn't mean
That's
I'm
it.
not delivered.
That's it
I
right there.
believe who I am, and
That's
I
it.
use that struggle to help
Mm-hmm.
people who come to me with their struggles. I am human. Like you said in the beginning, I'm human. I didn't find my path. I didn't find my purpose, and then automatically I turned into this robot. The education still, it taught me how to help others, but it
Yes.
didn't teach me that I needed, it also taught me that I needed to be human. I still need to work with my feelings. I have boundaries, of course, like anyone else, but I use my struggle, I use my pain to be able to relate to those who's where I was. They are
Yes.
just starting off, they're afraid, they feel alone, they have all this doubt, they don't think that they can do it. And I use that as a tool to help me understand where they are and where they can be.
And as you said, beautiful point. Delivered the way they think you should be
Hmm.
delivered. Healed in a way that they think that you should be healed. Healed as defined by people
Hmm.
or folk that judge you or folk that look at your life or folk that don't want you to be
Mhm.
healed, don't want you to be
Hmm.
delivered, don't want you to be set free. Then of course they will set a boundary and say this is what
Hmm.
it should, this is what delivery should look like, not knowing that I am the person that's going through this. I'm the person that's walking through this. So in my eyesight, in my heart, this is what deliverance look like. This is what healing looks like. So my husband said, make sure you just let it flow. We know who you
Hmm.
are, know what you've done, know what you've conquered, know what you have survived by your writings, but just begin to share with the audience tonight what it is that you want us to know.
I want everyone to know that there is a possibility to heal. It is a chance. You have the chance to be better than where you were. You don't, and even I'm not going to say better than you are. You have a chance to thrive beyond what you have been taught that you are, because you are better than what you think you are. You just don't know it yet. I
Mm,
have been in some of the worst situations in my life. I have been betrayed by everyone that I have ever loved. My mother, people who I've known for 20, 30, 40 years. When I lost my son, I was completely alone. I had not one person who was there by my side to hold my hand and cry on their
wow,
shoulder.
wow.
I had to deliver myself. I had to understand, and I had to learn what was in my face. Everyone want to say, "Why is this happening to me? Why is this?" But you have to look. I had to look, and it took me losing my son to understand I wasn't looking in the right places. I'm
Mm,
leaning on people when I shouldn't have been leaning on people. They weren't the ones that was going to deliver me. I was
yes.
leaning on something that I should have. I wasn't doing the things that was put in my face to do. My purpose. I was ignoring my purpose, and I was depending on everything other than what was put inside of me. It's put inside of you. Everything is put inside of you. You have the strength. If you're living through that pain and you're struggling every day, you're dealing with abuse, you're dealing with triggers, you're still living. So you have that strength in you. And you were told that you have that strength in you. You just don't want to listen. You want to hear it from a person, but it's not that person that's going to help you. You have to
Mm.
find that inside of yourself, and you have to listen to that voice inside of yourself that's telling you what you need to do. Do I
So
think that I can? Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, do I think that me losing my son was a horrible thing? Yes, but you can't control what was meant to happen. And once
Mhm.
you let go of trying to control what was meant for your life, you will be better off. It'll be a lot easier for you.
Hmm.
I mean, hearing what you were saying, I mean, I know that you're already saying it, but just some of the key aspects of coping with trauma and the
Mm-hmm.
loss of your son,
Mm-hmm.
how detrimental was that to you?
Hmm.
Even though that was things that you was dealing with before that took place. So when we think that, okay, I'm healing, I'm getting delivered, here comes something else.
Mm-hmm.
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of that would have took a lot of people out of here. That kind of stuff will make you commit suicide. It'll make you lose your mind, make you have a mental breakdown. What did you do
I did
to
all of
cope
that.
with
I did all of that. I attempted on my life. I gave up. Um, I it was there is nothing that I have ever gone through. I have been sexually assaulted. I've had bones in my face and my fingers and my feet broken. I've had my ribs broken when I was 5. I was poisoned at what, 2 weeks old? No, 2 days old, and was in the hospital. I died 3 times before I was 1. I have a scar on my neck from that, but there is nothing I have ever gone through in life that was worse than me losing my child. I'll go through all of that again if I didn't have to lose my child with a smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I felt like giving up. And honestly, if I didn't have the 2 younger children, because he was my oldest, if I didn't have 2 children under him who were also minors at the time, I probably would have killed myself. And I did try. But my current husband, who I'm with now, stopped me. I felt like I had nothing to live for. Everything and everyone turned their back on me when the day I lost my child, because it didn't just affect me. My children, uh, that was their father for a long time, because I was a single mom when I left my first husband, my daughter was 3 or 4. So her brother raised it, because I worked 3 jobs. I'm the normal average single working mother. I made sure that my children were taken care of to the best of my ability, but you still have to work. So
Yes.
they lost their best friend, and everything around me just crumbled. And I had to be strong for them. That's honestly the only reason why I feel like I made it through that time, because again, that year, I call that my year of transformation, because that's when I learned I had to fight or die,
Hmm.
live or die. I had to choose, because there is no in between. Either you're going to fight for your purpose and you're going to live for yourself, or you're just going to die, whether it's a physical death, an emotional death, a spiritual death, or a mental death. You're just going to die. I had a mental breakdown, and I had to go to therapy, and I had to do all that, because I was in college. I mean, people don't understand the little things in life. Graduating high school, I had to sneak behind my ex-husband's back to get my GED, because he would not allow me to go to school when I was 16. He was 23.
Wow.
So I did all of that. I fought to go there, and then I enrolled in college just to drop out because I lost my son. I lost
Mm-hmm.
everything. I said I had no will. I had to climb out of that mind frame state that I was in, go back to college, get my degrees, go back and get my master's, and still fight the depression. I feel like a failure as a mother, because no matter what, I still have my other 2 children, but you lose a child, you still feel like you failed as a parent, even just one. You cannot
Wow.
replace that child. So
Wow.
I had all of those. It took a lot. It took a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation. I had no faith in nothing,
Mm.
nothing. I'm not gonna lie, that's the first thing I said was, "Oh, you took my child from me? Okay, well then you got to blame something. So you allow me to go through all this abuse. You took my child from me. You showing me you don't love me." But it wasn't that.
Wow.
That
Wow.
wasn't what it was. It
Right.
wasn't that at all.
That's
It
it.
was just my journey. It was his time, and it was meant for me to find my purpose. That's how I look at it. His life was not mine. It was his, and it was given to me as a gift. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of me looking at that as me being punished, I looked at that, okay, you know what, you gave me this baby for as a gift. He saved my life, because when I got pregnant, I was living on the streets, and I was doing a lot of things that I shouldn't have to survive. But once I found out I was pregnant, I stopped selling drugs. So I had to sell drugs because I ran away from home. I was being beat every day by my mom until my face was bloody. So I had to run away from home. You had to sell
Wow.
drugs at 14 and 15 years old so that you could have a roof over your head and eat every day. But when I got pregnant with my son, I said, okay, I can't live like this anymore. So instead of looking at it as, you took this baby away from me, okay, you gave me this child to save my life and give me purpose. And you took him back. You took him home. And now you gave me an angel to watch over me. That's how I look at it today.
Mm-hmm.
That is not how I looked at it then.
Mm.
It was
Is your
it was
mother still
hard.
living?
Yes, but we do not speak. She's still afflicted by her demons. She's an alcoholic because my father was her abuser. My father is 46 years her senior, and he was molesting her from age 8 until after I was born, which I was born when she was 20. He
Mm.
beat and harmed her. My grandmother allowed this to happen as well. Um, and so, but he raised me. He never touched me. He loved me. I did not have any idea he had any of those types of behaviors
Issues,
in him.
right?
Yeah, until right before he passed away. I mean, of
Mm.
course, I was curious because I didn't know he was my father until I was about 9, as to why I had to even live with him. Because I didn't. I'm like, this isn't my dad, but he raised me and treated me like I'm his youngest child. He treated me like a princess. Me and my sister, by my mom, lived with him. So we didn't know any of this stuff. But when he passed away, she started drinking, and she took a lot of that. Whatever he did to her, she wanted to make sure I paid for it.
Wow.
So she took it out on me, which is why I ran away from home a lot. And it was hard. I was like I said, I was sexually assaulted at 14, and when I told her, of course, it was your fault. So I get beat up, so I get kicked, I'm stomped, I am just beyond beat, and I felt like she was trying to kill me, so I had to leave and take care
Mhm.
of myself. So I don't speak to her. Because every time I speak to her, she is still intoxicated. She throws in my face that I killed my son. She
Mhm.
blames me for his death. So I'm human and I have boundaries. And in order for me to heal, sometimes and I released her. That was my last week on my podcast, was release you with love. And I
Yes.
released her with love. I said, I love you, mom. But as long as you are under that control of that liquor, that spirit that's taken over you, I cannot talk to you. You cannot be around my children, and you for sure can't be around my grandchild. I do not want them to see this evilness that's coming out of you, because sober, she's a beautiful person, loving person. It's that alcohol that gets in her, and now she's never sober, never sober. So it's been, I want to say 5 years, maybe longer, since I've seen her. We
Wow.
talk maybe twice a year, if that. I know I call her and tell her happy birthday. I will call her and tell her happy birthday. She'll answer. She'll be drunk. Hello, happy birthday, mom. And she'll start her drunk rant, and I'll just hang up in her. I love you, bye, and I'll hang up in her face. So
Wow.
she is still alive, but she's not living. That's not
Mm.
living to me.
No, it's not. It's not. Wow. Well, if you um,
Okay.
go ahead.
You know that we have talked with the aspect of coping with trauma, the loss of a loved one. We understand that your support was your current husband, and the eyes of your beautiful kids stared at you at that time that you was dealing with.
Mhm.
That's your support system. But how did you
Hmm.
take care of yourself with the physical and mental well-being? Did you get enough sleep? Did you get enough exercises? Did you eat well? Did you avoid unhealthy mechanisms?
Mm.
I worked 14 hours a day.
Mm.
That was my initial coping mechanism, was to just work, just get from one day to the next without doing something destructive.
Wow.
Then I cut off ties with everyone who had toxic behaviors, even if it's someone who I loved, people who I knew I shouldn't be around. I went to therapy. I went there's I told you my husband was Catholic before. There's this building called the Pink Sisters. It was a church that you go to just to pray, and it's
Mhm.
full of nuns. And this, I'm not Catholic, but you walk into this church and the energy in there is just overwhelmingly beautiful. I wish I
Wow.
could explain. I can't explain it. It's just, it hits you, and you can't do anything but cry and pray. That's it. I don't care what your religion is, what you believe. You walk into that sanctuary, and you're gonna feel that energy. You're gonna feel the Lord. You're gonna feel the presence, whatever it is that you believe. You're gonna feel that on you when you walk in there. So I spent a lot of time in there with my husband, and he would sit there with me, and I would get on that little thing that I was telling you that was behind the pews,
Right.
and
Right.
I would
Right.
just pray till my knees started hurting, or cry, or do whatever, and they just let you. I didn't go to an actual church service, but that was how I dealt with it. That's how I learned to get over it. I would go into that building with him. He would ask, "You ready to go to the sisters?" And I would go. I'd be like, "Yeah," and then we would go in there, and he would just sit there with me, and we would just pray, and I would cry like a baby until I felt a little lighter. And every time I go, I feel a little lighter. I feel a little lighter. And then on top of the therapy that I was going through,
Uh-huh.
this has kind of helped me find myself. And I'm gonna say about a year after my son's passing, I enrolled back in college. I found a job that gave me hours of, gave me my work life balance back so that I didn't have to
Mm.
spend so much time away from my children. And I started on my healing journey at that point because, again, I
Mhm.
told you I'd already disconnected myself from everyone who didn't have anything good to bring into my life.
Yes.
I moved closer to my sister, who she's my I don't know how to say this. Do I have half siblings and whole siblings? I guess she's my whole sister. We share a mom and a dad. Everyone else is my half siblings. So me and her, we're the closest. Her life is not that much different from mine, and I moved closer to her, and I just started over. I started over, and I just started to try to find myself.
Wow. If you're just joining us on tonight, we have the honor and pleasure to hang out with a survivor on tonight, PJ Jones. She's an author. She's been through some things, not from lack of education, not from lack of knowing who God is, just by way of education, a holistic motivational empowerment strategist, life coach, holistic healer, neuro linguistic programming practitioner. In other words, allowing to be able to reprogram your mind into
Mm-hmm.
what you need to be so that you can walk into who you are supposed to be. You've been through some things, um, master's degree, baccalaureate certification in cannabis science operation. So, in other words, she researched what it is that she was advocating for, certified in holistic and life coach. She wasn't doing it without knowing what it was that she was entering into and sharing with other people,
That's right.
and yet and
Mm-hmm.
still in the midst of all of that trying to heal, even a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and human services, and then to reach back into the community after all that you've been through, case manager, working with the homeless shelters and mental health specialists, CPS and adult protective services, still hurting, still broken, still walking in your healing, still walking in your deliverance, still trying to smile and encourage other people. You can make it, and I'm a witness. It's almost like the scripture where doubting Thomas says, I want to touch the holes. You don't make me start tonight. I'm trying to be real good. Where doubting Thomas says, I want to touch the holes so that I know that it's him.
Let the spirit guide you now. Don't hold back
Okay.
from me.
So you're the face of what it is they are trying to accomplish. I can't even imagine in the homeless shelters. I used to do a Healthy Start, and the places that we had to go to
Mm-hmm.
visit these people under bridges. And you know
Yes.
one girl was smart enough, pregnant, she would sleep in the emergency room, and when the security guard would come, she would go to the front of the hospital, and then when he left, she would come back and go to the bathroom until he left, and then she would come out and get us snacks, and then we'd have to find that time to meet her, to
Mm-hmm.
educate her, to bring her vitamins and all the stuff that she needed in between trying to duck and dodge, going in houses, they sleeping on
Mm-hmm.
mattresses, and you're scared to take your stuff in because the roaches and all their cousins gonna get in your
Yes.
bags,
Yes.
sleeping in cars. So when I say
Mm-hmm.
working with the homeless population, you know that you have been delivered and
Yeah.
healed,
Yeah.
because of course we don't judge. Yes,
Yes.
it may be a job, but it's their life. And I have to
Mm-hmm.
come into their world and not judge
Yes.
them. So I'm telling you, powerful tonight to be in your presence on tonight, to know that they can touch the holes and know that PJ Jones is still yet alive.
That's it.
So share with us some of the things. I know that, as you said, from your journey at age 16, what you went through. So just share a little with the audience. I know you said about the husband, being a
Mm-hmm.
narcissist and abuser. And
Yes.
then your father was a pastor,
Yes, he was.
the one that you were living with.
Mm-hmm. Grew
So
up in a
between
Baptist church.
Baptist, bless the Lord. So from all of that you went through, like you say, you didn't turn your back on God. Yeah, and then here I am trying to survive all of that, trying to survive, and then to question, God of all people, why did I lose my son?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that there's a word that you can share with someone right now that may be listening that have had such a great loss. My twin brother lost his daughter at 8 years old.
Mm.
10-year-old shot her in the head by accident.
Mm.
So you can imagine as a young man and his baby child gone like that. I wish you were around then to have been able to minister to his young self, to
Mm-hmm.
have saved where he is now. So if someone is listening right now and they've had such an experience, what can you share with them right now to help push them a little?
This is the hardest thing. Anything will be used to take you off of the path where you're supposed to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have your purpose. You're on the right path. I was doing everything right, and I lost my son to take me off the course that I was on.
Mm-hmm.
Anything could be used to attack you. Anything, everything is up for grabs. Your children, your grandchildren, your mom, your dad, whatever is closest to you. My children were the closest to me. My biggest fear in the entire world was losing one of my children. And
Wow.
I now feel like me losing my child was an attack, but also a test to see how I was going to respond. To see if I was going to just completely turn my back, to see if I
Wow.
was just going to completely break. And for a minute, it was there. It was there. It's borderline. It's hard to ask, but then you have to remember, like I said, for those of you who just tuned in, I remember saying that this child was given to me to save my life from a lifestyle that I would have been dead had it not been for him. He saved my life. I had to
Wow.
reframe the way I thought, which is part of the neuro linguistics program. I had to reframe my thinking. He was the gift that was given to me for a time. He has not been taken from me. He is still here with me.
That's it. That's
He's
it.
just not physically here with me. But it took me a while to get to that point because all I felt was the hurt. We are
Mm.
selfish as a whole because we want people to be here. My son he was shot in the head as well.
Oh
He's on
wow.
life support, and they're asking me, "Do you want us to keep him on life support?" That would have been
Exactly.
selfish of me to
That's
keep
it.
him on life support. I
That's it.
can't think for just myself. I have to think for him. He wouldn't want to live like that. I know people who have allowed their family members to be kept on life support. And even if they do wake up, they're not the same person that they were
Exactly.
before.
Hmm.
They have no quality of life. I'm not taking that. I'm not making that decision for my child. And we actually funny is we talked about that. He has a cousin who was in that situation, and he's to this day he cannot walk, talk, feed himself. He's on a feeding tube. He has a breathing tube. Everything is tubes, tubes, tubes. My son said, "I don't want to ever live like that." I
Wow.
had to honor his wishes, and I'm that was the hardest decision I had to make, but that was also the bravest one. I had to have faith that he and I know that he's with me. So it's not there's nothing easy that you can say about that. All I can say is just to know that they were here for you when they were meant to be here for you, and now
Hmm.
they were a gift to you in life. They're going to be a gift to you in death.
Hmm.
It's a funny story. After the year he passed away, I was on my way to work. We were in a rainstorm, a really bad storm. Me and my current husband, he was driving me to work. My car spun out. I don't know if anyone knows St. Louis freeways, but them
Hmm.
suckers is crazy. They drive, they speed, they don't slow down. And we are on one of the main freeways spinning out in the rain. For some reason, not one car is on the freeway. We slide down an
Wow.
80-foot ditch, hit a tree. My son,
Wow.
all I saw was my son. Instead of him being here physically to be here with me, he is now an angel on my shoulder, making sure that I am safe. So I still
Mm.
have him. So it's the way
Mm.
you look at it. Now we can't be selfish and say, I want to keep my child here because I want him here with me. I have
Right.
to let him go and
Right.
trust that I'm going to see him again.
Yep.
You're going to see your babies again, even though it's not what you need. Breaking down is not going to bring your babies back. You have
That's it.
so much more to live for. Honor their memory. Your child loves you. They don't want to see you broken. They want to see you strong. They want to see the parent that they grew up with. My mom was a
Hmm.
strong mom. My mama didn't break down like this. So be who they looked at you to be. They need you to be strong for them because they
Hmm.
see what you're going through and it's hurting them. You're still hurting them by breaking down. and showing them that you can't handle life without them. You
Mm-hmm.
can. Is it
Mm-hmm.
hard? I cry every day. This past January is 8 years my son was being gone, has been gone, and I cried. I cried. I don't cry every day now. I take that back. I have my moments. But
You
now
do
every
that.
time I think about him, I laugh. I
Mm-hmm.
smile. Instead of thinking of me losing him, I sit back and think. I have videos. Today we have all of these videos that we can go back and look at them and see them acting silly. We can hear their voice. We can see their smile. We can talk to them. They will talk back. You just have to listen. You have to hear. You have to feel. I see him in my dreams. I have to know that he's okay, and that's how I'm okay. I know that he's okay. I just miss him.
Mm-hmm.
We just miss him,
That's all
and
right.
you're gonna miss him. It's okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to have a bad day. Do not live in that pain, though. Do not live in that pain
Mm.
because you have to stay on your path because that was meant for you to help someone else. I lost my son so I can help someone else who lost their child, so
Wow.
that they can help someone else who lost their child. It's a community. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many more things I can say. I can ramble on. I'm a rambler, so I'm sorry, but there's so many things that There's nothing easy to say about how you have to process losing the child. You process and grieve how you need to grieve, but don't stay there. Do not
Right.
stay there.
That's it.
Pray, meditate, do what you have to do, but you need to come out of that and live your purpose and be
Mm-hmm.
a service to whoever needs you because that's what we're all here for. We're all here to be of service to each other in one way or another.
Hmm. Well, I like I say, I
Wow,
wish you had
that's
been
awesome.
around then, because as you said, if we ever get to the point to where we realize that they were given to us for a season,
Hmm.
and that season was over, regardless of how they changed hands or transition or went back home to be with him, he was here for a season. And
Hmm.
what do we do in that time frame that God allowed them to be with us? She was only here 8 years.
Yeah.
But getting him to see and realize and accept at that time was hard and still is hard for him right now. So then he just started drinking because he couldn't deal
Mm-hmm.
with, the trauma and the mindset. He snapped, coming in and out. But he'll still refer to that time. And
Hmm.
as you said, still healing even then, because then it was holiday. She passed Christmas Eve and we had to
Oh,
bury her New Year's Eve. So that's a whole nother issue all by itself. Passing in the holidays, and
yeah.
having to deal with, something as traumatic as that. But I appreciate the fact that you're here tonight with us with your transparency to share your story, to try to help someone else understand and know that life is not over.
No.
Marriage, divorce, narcissism,
Hmm.
uh, being degraded, as you
Yes.
said, being physically abused, mentally abused. But look at me now.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. And
That's
I
it.
always say, you always have to go through that to get to where God has you now, to be able to appreciate the man of God that's in your life now. Because, like I said, you went
Yes.
through some things.
Oh, yes.
So would I have been able to appreciate him had I not went through what I went through?
I don't think I would as much. No.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because again, I grew up in church. You grow up in church, you always gotta you love the Lord, but it's like why do I gotta love him? What he doing for me? But when you see this, when you see what you come through, when you see that, it's like there's nothing else there but you have to believe. You can't. You have no choice. Because I could have been dead so many
Hmm.
times. I've
Hmm.
seen so you. I mean, I was a homeless teenage girl living literally in the streets. I have seen and been through some things that you cannot even imagine, and
Wow.
that was the only way I could have even survived that. I could not have survived it. Some had their hand on me. I mean, come on now, it wasn't me doing it myself. So
You got to give
what else
credit.
was it?
That's
So
it.
I do.
Accept
I
him.
have to give credit where credit is due. I do.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
my grandmother, she was another one who had a big part of raising me, who allowed things to happen to my mom. But she's a minister, and she was a praying woman. She she was not a good mom. And I'm going to say that she had her time of repenting, and she had her time of going through her she had to. Everyone has to pay for the things that they do, good or bad.
Right.
But the woman that I knew, she prayed for every single person in her family. Every day she called, I'm praying for you, I'm praying for you, I'm praying for you. And I believe it was her. I believe it was her sending all the prayers up that helped me, because I mean, when I was young, I mean, all kids who grew up in church, the first thing they want to do is run away from church. I
Right.
was in church
That's it.
5 days
That's
a week, 12 hours a day. You know, again, a PKE. I was at revivals. I was at anniversaries. My dad spoke at all types of church events. So I'm in church all day like this. So I was like, I'm running. My grandma was
Listen,
like,
let me
nope,
hold
I
my
got my
hand
hands up.
up.
My grandma like, you go ahead. I'm still gonna put that prayer down on you. So she
That's it.
was a praying woman. I do have a really, and my family's not perfect, but they are a praying family. And I feel like a lot of the prayers that she put up saved me, because I should not be here. I should
Mm.
not. I even almost died in childbirth. You know, it's I shouldn't be here. The things that my ex-husband did, you know, like he slit my throat. He shot at me. I was sad. You know, he's trying to sex traffic me. He's hit me upside my head with bricks. I mean, it's bad. Bats, batons, you know, like, and I survived all of that. So
Wow.
it had, there's no other explanation. I have no other explanation, you know. So, I mean, if you guys can come up with something better, please let me know, because I
Right,
don't
right,
know
right.
what else it is to say. But I do know, I know that I'm thankful now. And
Wow.
I feel like I am blessed. I don't even feel like it. I know I am blessed, because I am here in a whole country that I don't even speak the language, and I am happier than I ever have been living somewhere where that is home, that is supposed to be home for me. I have overcome so much evil, so much evil. People, evil places, evil everything. And I've seen so many people who I thought were so close to me
Mhm.
try to sabotage everything that was good inside of me. And I didn't let them. I didn't allow that. I still
Mhm.
wanted to help. I still want to help them if they'll let me, but until then, I have to release them with love.
That's it. That's it.
So,
That's it.
you
And I
know,
heard you
so
say that the other night, about being able to release someone with love. Tell us about that
yes.
concept.
The concept is just, I love you as a person. I value the memories that we have had together, but the lifestyle that you are living at this moment is no longer serves my purpose. I am going left, right? You are going left. And though I wish you the best, that is not my journey. And if you're continuing to behave in those types of ways that are going to either have me backsliding, trigger me, or have me doing things that I know I shouldn't do, then I need to release you with love. If you're not going to respect, like with my mom, that's a perfect example. She drinks. It's not that I do not love my mother. Every time you hear me bring up my mother, I'm going to tell you I love my mom so much.
Hmm.
I wish I had a better relationship with my mom.
Hmm.
But until she gets the help that she needs, I'm going to have to release her with love. I'm going to have to allow her to live the life. I tried for years to help my mom. I tried for
Hmm.
years to be there for people who I'm going to be a good friend. Friendship is being loyal no matter what they do to you. No, that's not. You have to be loyal to yourself first.
Okay.
Releasing
Okay.
with love is loving yourself first. It's self-love. And it's not that I don't love you. I love me more. I'm not going to let you drag me through all of this stuff that I've done to make myself better, and I'm going to allow you to take that from me because of the decisions you're choosing to make. So no matter how much I love you, no matter how much I respect you and value you as a person or a place or a thing, an object, a home, if I'm not doing well in Costa Rica, then maybe this place is not the place for me. I need to release this place with love and honor the memories that I had with this place or that person. I love my mom was not always this way. I
Hmm.
remember the good times with her, and I'm gonna hold on to that in my heart for the rest of my
That's
life.
it.
But if that's all
That's
I
it.
have, that's what
That's
I'm
it.
gonna keep. So I release you with love.
Hmm. Wow. I hope somebody is on our hanging with the Walkers family tonight. I hope they're really receiving this in their spirit, not just in their ears, but in their spirit. That it's okay to release someone. And then when you release someone, that we're releasing them with love.
Mm.
I don't
Yes.
hate you, all the
Mm-mm.
trauma, all the physical abuse that he did to you, but I had to
No.
release you with love
Mm-hmm.
because the direction that you were going in is not where God intended for me to be.
No, not at all.
Because
Not,
you
and I
were
feel sorry for him.
right, exactly. Unfortunately, your heart goes out to him. And that doesn't mean that you date your assignment because you feel sorry for him, right?
Right.
No, 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 ma'am. You
Oh my
just go
goodness.
on and you just you wish them the best. You can even pray for them. You know, this don't mean that you hate them. It's to release. When you release with love, you release the bitterness inside of you.
Hmm,
That's actually healing for yourself. I'm
that's
not going to
good.
allow you to make me bitter. I'm not going to
That's good.
allow you to darken my heart. So I'm going to release you with love. And I hope the best for you. I hope you get the help that you need to be a better version of you. I hope you find some religion. I hope you find some therapy. I hope you find something to change whatever. Because my ex-husband is he likes them young. You know,
Hmm.
when you get a little too old, then he wants to start trying to mistreat you. But I hope that he gets help for that.
Hmm.
Or I hope that my story will prevent somebody else's child from being, a victim of his behaviors. That's the best way I can say it. The nicest way I can say it is his
Exactly.
behaviors.
And how long were you all married?
Um, we were married for about 10 years. We were together a total of 12. He met me when I was a sophomore in high school, the
Hmm.
summer of my junior year, going into my junior year. And he was, like I said, he was 23, just got out of jail, was messing with girls a couple years younger than me. And he just he used the fact that I was a homeless teen and he took advantage of that. And
Hmm.
he held me hostage for 12 years.
Wow. Hmm. Still
That's all right. I
smiling.
tried to run. I ran. 'Cause I didn't stay. I ran every year. I'm going. I'm going somewhere. I didn't just sit there. I'm like, no, brother, man, you're not gonna kill me. So I would run. I tried to get away, but my mom would tell him where I was, or people who I thought were my friends would tell him how to find me, or send for him to come to where I am. That's why I say, release you with love. I would release you with love.
But the beautiful part that they don't realize that in the midst of those 12 years is where you were sneaking and obtaining your education.
Yes, yes.
That's the part that they didn't know.
Yes, I had to sneak
So,
behind his back to get my GED. I started college. He found out and stopped me, but I kept trying. So yes, that's exactly when I started my education. Because I mean, I was a good student. I was a nerd. Honestly, I was in band. I was in college prep classes. I was in ROTC. I played multiple instruments. I was say, I mean, I'm a PK. Of course, I could sing in the choir. I could play the piano.
wow.
So. Um, I was an exceptional student. I only needed maybe a half a credit to graduate, but he wouldn't let me go get that half a credit. So
Wow.
I had to sneak to do what I had to do.
Wow.
I was on a track to get a scholarship to. I was going to Spelman. Those were my goals. I'm going to Spelman. I'm going to be in the band. I'm going to be. My dream was to go on one of those college band tours and you seen Drumline. I was going to be
Yes.
playing the clarinet or the saxophone or one of those instruments.
Uh-huh.
So,
Wow.
or be in the orchestra, I play the cello, the bass, the clarinet, the saxophone, the piano. Like I could write any kind of type of music. I wasn't allowed to be me. My mother took whatever she could. My ex-husband took whatever he could. And now I'm getting that all back. I'm taking
So
me back.
is that another thing that people don't know about you, that you played these various instruments when you were in school?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. I've been playing instruments since I was like 5 or 6 years old. We had a
Wow.
piano in our house. My mom would make me play. My dad would make us play. He would make me play at church. A lot of people don't know that I sing. I will not sing in front of people because I am super shy. But I mean, I sing. I was a dance. I'm a very artistic person. A lot of people do not know that about me because I had to a long time ago harden that part of me to survive. But now I
Mm.
express that now, and I do want to start getting back into music because that's kind of soothes me. I love it. I love playing the piano. I love, you get in it and you just lose yourself in it, and it's hard. That's another thing that's hard to explain, but it takes all of those bad emotions and it
Yes, it
turns it into
does.
something so beautiful that you can't help but to feel better. And
That's
so
it.
I'm getting back into that. I still sing. My husband, they'll hear me when I'm upset. My daddy's favorite song was I'm Looking for a Miracle. I'll
All
scream
right.
that song at the top of my lungs, or something. It depends on my mood. I'll sing jazz. I'll sing good church music, but whatever I need to get on. Whenever I need to get something off of my spirit, I sing loud, very loud. They can hear me outside.
Now, do you use music as a part of your therapy when you are, working with your clients and that sort of thing? Do you use
Not
music as a
yet.
therapy?
Not yet. I'm
Wow.
gonna start that. I want to take a course in music therapy, because if I
Uh-huh.
do start to use it, I want to do it in the right way. I want to be able to do it correctly. But I would really love to start that. But it's coming. I'm stretched so thin. I do so much. I'm like, I'm going to get that though. I'm going to use music because it is. I've worked in mental health facilities with therapists who has music therapy as
That's
one of
it.
their,
That's
and
it.
I see how it does help. It
Yes, it
does help.
does. Yes, it
So I
does.
would definitely, that is definitely going to be one of my daughter, she's into sound therapy with bowls and stuff. So I could try that at first, but I think music, the art of listening to, playing, screaming, even if you can't play, because a lot of them couldn't play the instrument to save their lives, but
Right.
they'll beat on the drums, and then by the time that the therapy session is over, instead of them being mad, they're just happy and laughing, and they're not making anything good, but they're
Right.
enjoying themselves, and
That's
they're
it.
allowing that energy to come off of them, and they come out better. So yes, definitely something I'm planning on doing, but I want to get certified in that first. I am a
Well,
nerd.
the beautiful part about it is I did geriatrics also during my nursing career. And
Okay.
one thing was the music. I don't care how dementia, I don't care Alzheimer's,
Mm-hmm.
but there were
Yes.
songs that stayed with them. And
Yes.
you can see the head, you can see the fingers, you can
Mm-hmm.
see the feet. I don't care, PTSD, all kind of issues mentally that they had. But if you play music, that old cliche that music calms the savage beast, I
Yes, it
promise
does.
you, it calmed them right down. It
Yes,
really
it
did.
does.
So, and some of them can sing. I had one. She used to play for the presidents. They would come and
Oh,
get her and take her to play for the presidents. She played symphony. She taught piano, and her
yes.
grandson got a master's in music. And he said
Nice.
he was nervous to play in front of his grandmother because she was such an expert. She could hear
Yes.
those mistakes in those times that
Yes.
he crossed over on notes that were not supposed to be there. He was
Yes.
beat red coming to play for his grandmother. He said, I'm so nervous, tears in his eyes. He said, I hope I don't mess up. She said, no, just relax.
Oh,
And she had dementia. She said, no, just relax. So she told him, she said, move over. And the notes that he was trying to play, this lady with dementia and Alzheimer's played it to
yes.
the T.
I bet. Yes. You can never forget, because
Oh,
it's in your soul. It's a part of who
powerful.
you
So
are.
powerful. Yes, yes. And
Yes.
they get that. It resurfaces. Oh my goodness. If you are just joining us, we are in the presence of PJ Jones calling all the way from Costa Rica to hang out on Hanging with the Walkers with our fam tonight. She is a holistic motivational empowerment strategist. She's a life coach, holistic healer, NLP practitioner, meaning neuro linguistic programming practitioner, helping you to reprogram your mind to heal, master's degree. She has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, human services. And in the midst of all of that, she is just what she told us on tonight. She is a survivor. And she's here tonight to share her story, to let you see that you can overcome, that you can win, and that this is what deliverance looks like in our day. Not
Yes.
what it says in the textbooks, not what somebody else said. This is what healing looks like in our time,
Hmm.
not in the time that we knew before, because
Right.
that was a classic
That's right.
of what they should look like and how they should talk if they said that they
Yes.
were healed, if they said that they were delivered. But
Yes.
now you're just joining us. But she shared with us that she say every day is a journey.
Hmm.
Losing her, 19-year-old son to gun violence in the midst of all the trauma, rape, trafficking that she went through, and then to lose her son who she leaned and depend on. Yeah, other kids, but the trauma of losing a child,
Mm-hmm.
and still here to tell the story.
That's it.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, if you're on this line on tonight, God did you a favor and brought you into the presence of this awesome woman of God on tonight. So in saying all of that, I already know what your passion is, but share with our audience what your true passion is.
My true passion is to help a community that feels like they are broken. Our
Mhm.
problems, we always say, help a community that is broken. This community is not broken. It's bent, it's scratched, it's tarnished, but it's not broken. And I want to help this community see you're not broken, you're just a little bent. Help them understand and reclaim their true power and find their purpose. To help them understand that, whatever we go through, whatever losses that we take, whatever downs, ups, and then all in between, it's all a part of our journey, and it's all shaping and molding us to be who we are. And no matter what we go through, healing is possible. Healing
Yes.
is
Oh,
a
wow.
continuous everyday battle, but it is possible. Because
Yes.
again, when I tell you 3 years ago, I had a gun to my head.
Wow.
And today I'm like, why would I even do that to myself?
Right.
But at that point, I felt like I had no other choice.
Hmm.
So healing is possible. And that is my passion, to help anyone and everyone who's willing to not be where I was, not to get to that low. Let's get you a positive support system. Let's get you some type of help, even if it's not with me. If it's with Pastor Walk or First Lady Walk, or call them. Call in someone. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Call the RAIN. Talk to someone, anyone. 411. I don't care. Not 411. 211.
211.
Someone, anyone. Don't give up on yourself. That is my
Wow.
passion. Because if I could just help one person, then I feel like I've done my job.
Wow. And did you all miss that? Sometimes things go over our head. Sometimes we hear it and we have to say it again. Did you hear her say, help a community? She didn't
A
say
community.
one, she said, help a community. Sometimes when we are on this journey and we're trying to minister to someone, we always say we're trying to save them one person at a time. But she said, save a community. So that means that it's a joint effort. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
That's
ma'am. We
it.
have to work together. We
That's
have to
it.
work together.
Wow. So it's okay to reach out. You don't have to do it
Hmm.
all by yourself. You don't have to walk them through deliverance and healing by yourself. You can reach out to other people. And that being said, the organizations and events that you have sponsored and birthed together, please tell us a little about those.
Okay. I had 2 summits that I previously hosted. I created Empowered Voices. Well, no, that's my YouTube channel. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Fearless and Flourishing. It was a Powered Woman Summit. And then this first one, oh my God, my brain is just
I got
what?
Rise and
Rise
Thrive.
and Thrive. You are
Yes.
right. Rise and
Yes.
Thrive. That was my very first one. My husband in the background, Rise and Thrive.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, those were the Rise and Thrive was basically my very first one. It was to honor. It was January 18th and 19th to honor the fact that I rose and I overcame so much, and it was to honor the memory of my son. To say I overcame whatever they thought I was going to fail at, and I'm still here, and you are too. So I had a lot of women come on my show, and or on my podcast, not my podcast, my summit, and they spoke about adversity, how they overcame adversity, what they do, the techniques. A lot of them everyone has different beliefs. So and I don't mind everyone. I welcome everyone. So they all had different strategies on what they did to heal from their trauma. But the whole point of my summit was to say, I am still here. I have
Mhm.
healed, and healing is so. I basically wanted them to see that this is part of our community, and they all put their information now so that if, like I said, if you don't feel like you resonate with me, you can call this person, you can call that person, but to call someone. Let's start working together to heal this community from the trauma that we had to go through in life. And the second one was Fearless and Flourishing. It was to celebrate National Women's Day. International Women's Day was March 8th. And that was about a lot of women who were empowered. Some people who spoke at that one were also speakers at my Rise and Thrive, because they kind of touched me that much. And I'm like, come back, come back. And
That's
they
it.
spoke of overcoming adversities. I have one, she lost her child. I have someone who has struggled, because trauma to me is not just sexual, mental, physical abuse. It's also overcoming medical illnesses. Someone who's gotten shot, someone who's had strokes, someone who's had heart attacks. You had to overcome adversity to become a better you, and you didn't. You
That's it.
chose not to give up. Some people can have a stroke, lose their job, and lose everything. They're the CEO one day, the next the stroke takes everything away from them. They become addicted to drugs and
That's
alcohol
it.
because that's the only way they can cope.
Mhm.
My platform is a platform of those who chose to thrive. Even those who has overcome, became an addict, but I overcame that addiction, and now here I am today. So those what those summits were for. On my
Wow.
YouTube channel, Empowered Voices Finding Strength in Survivors, is the platform that I have my podcast on. I now have Kisses Corner on my YouTube network as
Yes.
well. But and
Yes.
I also have other projects that I'm working on. I'm still editing the footage that I have. I interview women who are domestic violence survivors. So on Mondays, I'll be airing, most likely it's going to be next Monday, I Survived Domestic Violence, where women or men, because women are not the only ones who struggle with
That's right.
domestic violence.
That's it.
I'm waiting for you fellas. Come on now. I'm willing to hear you share your story too.
That's
If
it.
there's
That's
no
it.
shame, there is no shame. We are a
That's it.
community. But right now, I have a lot of wonderful women who has shared their story. They recorded it, and I'm going to share that on Mondays. It's just going to be them sharing their stories. Like, you won't see me; it'll just be them sharing their stories. And I'll do all of that so that I can not only give these women or men or survivors a voice, those who are struggling and feel like there's no way out. These are ways that you can kind of see that there are ways out of those situations. My way out might not work for you.
That's
Somebody
it.
has a story that's going to touch your spirit. Somebody has a story that's going to hit home with you. Someone has a
Yes.
message that you need to hear, and it's not going to always come from me. So I set that platform up on my YouTube channel. Is there for anyone to share their story so that someone else can reach you, because I don't think I could do this alone. I know I can't. Just
Mhm.
yesterday, I think I posted something on Facebook saying I have had to overcome asking for help myself, because again, I
I
still
saw that.
struggle.
I saw that. That's
I need to
powerful.
ask and I had to. It took me dealing with something that I had to say. You know what? I'm overwhelmed with everything. I had to ask for help. So even I have to ask for help. So that's what my platform is for. Is for me not to feel like I'm doing this all by myself. I have, like, my husband, he helps me. He helps me behind the scenes. I try to pull him on. I did that one time. He's like, "Don't ever do that to me again." But he's right here with me, So I have to help, and I have to receive help. But that's what my platform is for, is to give everybody a voice, so that if there's something's going to hit home with you. And that's going to be what helps you decide, I'm done allowing my life to be controlled. I'm taking my control and my power back. And that's what I do. That's my whole purpose.
Tell Mister, if he can see the screen, tell him I want him to make sure to look at my husband. That's what he used to say. A whole lot of stuff. I'm all geared up and I'm all excited. I want to help somebody. I want to do this, 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 and this. And he used to be saying, "Don't be trying to drag me into all this stuff. That's something that the Lord gave you. Don't be trying." But here we are, hanging with the walkers, because you understand and know that sometimes you hear it from the woman's point of view, but every now and
Mm-hmm.
then you may want to hear from the man's point of view.
Yes,
So sometimes they
exactly.
can seal the deal or just encourage someone, because he could say and speak some things that God has given him
Exactly.
that he didn't give to me. We're one true enough,
Exactly.
but he could
Yes.
pick up something and, like, you know what, I need to minister to him in this area. So tell bro
Mm-hmm.
he got an assignment. It's a joint effort, and if he ever need a witness and allow Thomas to put his hand in the hose, tell him just call Pastor Roger. He'll explain to him how many times I dragged him. He'll come sit way in the back, so I won't call him out. But the Lord
Oh, I
called him
see you
out.
back there.
Okay, the Lord called him out and bring it up to the front and say, "Yeah, she needs you."
Right. See, I love it. I love it. See,
So she has
that.
need of you, Mister. I know you hear me.
Mm-hmm. You hear? She said, "You. I have need of you. So you
That's
gonna come
right.
over here,
That's
put
the
your face in
song
this
said,
camera
"You
with
are
me."
my strength." So you are her strength. You are her backbone. You don't always have to be in the back to be a bone. Come on up to the front, bone.
Oh, that's funny. I love it.
Oh my
Oh,
God, let
y'all
the
go
Lord
see it.
work
We're
it
gonna
right
see
in the
more of
midst.
them. You're gonna see more
Yes,
of them.
yes.
It's my son though. My son, he's like, I want to be on your show. He wants to share what it was like watching me go through it.
How
So I
powerful
mean,
is that?
yeah. I'm like,
Wow.
thank you. So I don't, not next weekend, but the weekend after, because every other week I'm gonna do a solo. I decide that's something that's new too. I want you to get to know me. I have all these guests, get to know me. So
That's
not
it.
this Friday, but next Friday I'm going to be speaking on. I forgot what the topic was, but he's going to be sitting here with me and sharing
Wow.
his recollections of what it was like living with their biological, because they don't recognize him as their
Oh my
act.
God.
You gave me life, but you're not my father. So
Wow. How old is he?
right now he is 25.
So he wants to come on and be able to share.
He does.
You make sure you tag me so that I'll know. I'm gonna have my box of tissue right next to me. So
Yes,
he
ma'am. I
always
will
pick
make
at me.
sure.
He always pick at me and tell me, you gonna start crying tonight or what? So
Going for
Well, I can't
I keep
promise
my
no
Kleenex.
tears.
I keep my Kleenex like real near. So that if I start,
I can't promise dry eyes that night. There might be some tears flowing.
yes, yes, yes. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. So even as a life coach, to be able to um, retrain someone, or the holistic motivational empowerment strategist, to be able to help someone to retrain their mind past past the hurt.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What do we do?
First, we find out what the source is. What we
Hmm.
got, they have to define their goals. Where do you want to be at? And it's more of me kind of guiding them through. I find out what they want to do, and we kind of go through I have a lot of grow charts, goals, reflect. I have to look it up because I am not good at last minute stuff.
That's
But
okay.
I have a lot of charts and journaling that I first have to define what their goals are. Then once they define their goals, we have this, because it's a lot of it is just them not having faith in themselves. My goal is to stop crying every time I see myself in the mirror. Stop
Hmm.
allowing myself to allow the past to control me. So I have to help with affirmations. I have to give them. I have a lot of journaling. A lot of it is more journaling. That's what helped with me. Journaling, affirmations, meditation, breath work. I do a lot of breath work, and that's how I get back in control of myself. Then I tackle the goal. I said it in a different way. Then I
Gotcha.
tackle the goal. So first I have to get in control of them, who they are. Because if your brain is scattered like mine is tonight, I am not on a lot of sleep.
Oh no,
You're
you're
not
doing
gonna
good.
be
You're doing good.
you're
You're
not
doing
gonna be
good.
able to focus on what your goal is. So you
Mhm.
create the goals, but then we have to figure out how to get you to that point where you feel comfortable and sure of yourself to even reach those goals. So it's just like baby steps. Baby steps. Get up every morning and make up your bed. That's it for a week straight. And as you're making up your bed, tell yourself something that you're grateful for. Tell yourself
Mhm.
something that you've overcome. Then it's also recognizing your triggers. What are
Right.
those triggers doing? What caused that trigger? Then how did your body respond to that trigger? Why did your body respond this way? How can you refocus yourself on this? So for every trigger that you have to give yourself a positive affirmation. For every negative, you have to give yourself a positive so that you can balance that out. Once you balance that out, okay, now what are you going to do with that? How are you going to use that to make your day different than yesterday?
Hmm.
And accountability is also, I'm really big on accountability. So if I make a mistake, hold yourself accountable for it, because we're so down, we tear ourselves down so much that we try to hide from our mistakes. You have
Yes.
to allow yourself to be vulnerable. And then once you are in that position where you're allowing yourself to be open, and then we can kind of reprogram all of that wiring that was, because you have to unlearn a lot of behaviors, a
Yes.
lot of things that
Yes.
were trained and taught. You were taught that you were nothing. Okay, well, why do you feel like you're nothing? Because my mom told me that I was nothing. Okay, but what have
Mhm.
you done in your life to
Wow.
show that you were nothing? Oh yeah, my mom told me I was nothing a lot. You're not
Wow.
gonna be nothing. You are never gonna be nothing. But I had to show myself. Why
That's
do
it.
I feel like I'm nothing? Because she told me I was nothing. What have you done with your life? You got up.
Mm.
You got this. That's why I'm like hearing you say, bachelor's degree, master's degree. you're helping me reaffirm who I am.
Yes.
But I have to do that myself. So I have to
Yes.
teach them to reaffirm who you are. Even if you got up every day, was a beaten, abused by your partner, and you got up every day, you cooked breakfast. You didn't break down, you didn't kill yourself, you didn't take drugs, you didn't do anything. You got up and you made it through that day. Some people can't even do that.
That's
You have
right.
to look at the little things that you were able to accomplish. And then those
Yes.
little things turn into bigger things and into bigger things until you understand, hey, this is who I am. This is what I can do. I mean, it takes a lot of I
Mm.
don't know. Oh, okay, there we go. It takes a lot of work when, so like, I have a young woman that I'm working with. Her husband was a narcissist, bad, and they were both in the military. She completely feels like she is nothing.
Hmm.
So it takes a lot of her having to be it takes a lot of reaffirming and
Yes.
reminding and talking with her and crying and okay, you got all that taken care of, well, why are you here now? What happened? What triggered you? How are you going to react the next time this trigger comes? It's just going day by day, minute by minute, second by second, and know that sometimes a setback is not a failure. A failure is
That's it.
giving up on yourself.
That's it.
So that's
That's
kind of,
good.
in a nutshell. It's a lot more to that because I have all these
Exactly.
modules and all of these things that are not in my face right now. But it's basically
That's it.
allowing yourself to take that power back by affirming who you are, by remembering that you survived. Now
Yes.
you can thrive. Now you can live. And it helps you understand why by reminding yourself of where you come from. There's a
That's
saying,
good.
never forget where you came from. A lot
That's
of people
it.
kind of misinterpret that as to you got to go back and take care of everybody in the hood. No, that means that you have to go back and remember that you were once in this point in your life and now you're here.
Yes. Yes.
That journey that you took to get from there to here is your strength. So, and
Yes.
allow making you understand that that was not your weakness, that was your strength. Now, what are you
Hmm.
going to do with this strength? How are you going to use the strength to help you today?
That's good. That's good. Well, congratulations on the book, A Place to Belong. And then you
Mm,
have the daily affirmation journal.
yes.
Congratulations on your 1 year anniversary empowerment network.
Thank
Um,
you.
and then interviewed by Holistic Healing Magazine, Mission Accepted podcast, on the bathroom moments with Dr. Harris. Congratulations to those platforms that God has opened
Thank
up for you to
you.
be able to share your story.
Thank you so much.
Insights of a Survivor podcast. You got to catch her Insights of a Survivor podcast. And if you're just tapping on tonight with us, we're here with Miss PJ Jones, calling all the way from Costa Rica to hang out with us. Every avenue that it takes to help you heal, she is there. And as she says, she's here to heal the community, not just one person, but heal the community. And then be able to understand and know that it takes all of us to be able to get the job done. Sometimes we feel like we are alone. We start ministries, we start networks, and we start women's empowerment. And like you say, we think that we are alone. But I thank God for those women that you have interfaced with and joined together to strengthen the community. And shout out to Luciana Adams
Yes,
that's with us
ma'am.
on tonight. Yes.
That's my sister.
Yes,
Mwah.
yes. Thank you for tapping in. And she has the affirmation book for the kids, and I just love that
Yes,
affirmation book that she's doing. Same thing,
the
being able
ABC.
to be strong enough to go into the community and start something that is going to
Yes.
bless the community. And then remind us all that we are not alone. I got to tell your husband, you are not alone. You're not the only man that's going to come on the platform and help your wife.
Come on now. That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
DD, better come on now.
And listen, so while we're at this point, I know that Honeydew has something that he wants to help to encourage you. I mean, you do so pouring out. I told you I read your background and all that you've been through, and automatically I start praying. God, continue to give us strength. Continue to her healing and her deliverance to be a daily thing that she's shedding off the layers. And then he wants to share something to help encourage you right now in this part of our podcast.
Welcome to the second part of Forever Growing because you are forever growing.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
hear his whisper.
Yes.
You are powerful.
Mm.
Beloved, have you realized how powerful you are?
Mm.
It isn't because of the volume of your voice, the number of times you fast, or the hours you spend in prayer. You are most powerful when you fully believe in my love for you.
Mm.
You are unbeatable when you fight from a posture of rest.
Yes.
The weapon of your warfare are powerful through me, through your unshakable confidence of your position in me. When you're fully convinced of my love and understand my character, fear won't push you to react. Instead, you will respond with faith. You will believe I am who I say I am. You will find that place of stillness that contradicts warfare when you trust my love for you.
Mm.
You are powerful when you believe that I am aware of the battles and am fighting for you and alongside you.
Yes.
Rest is one of your most powerful weapons because it reveals the absence of fear in you.
Mm.
Out of the place of rest, I reveal through peace exactly what you need to do or what you don't need to do. Find your strength in the place of intimacy within me.
Mm.
Mark 4:37 and 38. Suddenly, as they were crossing the lake, a ferocious storm arose with violent winds and waves that were crashing into the boat until it was nearly swamped. But Jesus was calmly sleeping in the stern, resting on a cushion.
Mhm.
My sister, you are unbeatable when you fight from a posture of rest.
Mm.
You are powerful. This has been the second segment of Forever Growing because, my sister, you are forever growing.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. I felt that one.
I
Good.
did too.
I felt that one. Rest is one of your most powerful weapons. Now, if we can just get motivators, if we could get workaholics to understand, and I have to raise my hand that rest is one of our most powerful weapons. You know,
Yes.
even when I'm resting, my mind is going. You know,
Mm-hmm.
God, what can I do? Who can I text? Who can I encourage? You know, who can I build up? Who can I send this to? And he said, you got to rest. You got to slow down. You got to rest. You can't do it all in one day. And if you don't, your body will let you know.
Because if you're
Oh
no good to
yes.
yourself, who else can you be good to?
That's it. That's it.
Exactly.
Because rest is one of your most powerful weapons because it
Mm-hmm.
reveals the absence of fear in you.
Wow. Wow.
I know that was for me. I heard that one. When you were saying, I'm like, he talking. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I mean,
Wow.
I'm gonna get some sleep. That means that now I'm
Rest.
gonna turn. I'm gonna close my laptop tonight. I promise y'all. I'm gonna go to sleep. That's
Wow.
my promise to y'all tonight because I heard
Because
Okay.
that
now,
message.
because now we're able to hear him more attentively. No matter what's
Yes.
going on around us, with that rest, we're able to hear him, able to hear him
Mm-hmm.
what to do and what not to do.
Mm.
But when
Yes.
our rest is not there, our mind is clouded, our judgment is difficult, and
Mm-hmm.
we end up doing things that are not of God. And
Mm.
we're wondering why it be so agitated or so aggravating because we're not
Right.
hearing clearly,
Mm.
Right.
because we're tired.
Wow. Too
I never
tired to hear
thought
his
about it
voice.
that way either.
Yes, sir.
I
Too
got
tired to hear
you.
his
And you
whisper.
and you forget how powerful you are.
Mm. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Because certain thing that you reacting to when you get that rest, oh, you brush that off. I'm way above that.
Yeah.
But when you're tired, you find yourself beneath that, and you find yourself
Right.
looking up at your situation. But when you got your rest,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to look down and grab that bull by the hand and stare him in the eyes. Say, get thee behind me, Satan.
Right.
You're
You
an
better
offense
stop
unto
it. I
me.
say that's it.
I
But
Rest,
you got
got
the
reveals,
you.
rest
rest reveals the absence of fear in you.
in you
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you are more powerful in your warfare
Mm,
when you rest.
mm, hmm.
Thank you.
Wow.
Mm. Thank you.
Listen, he talking to us tonight.
He is. He is. I feel like I'm listening to my daddy right now. I'm sorry, but people. I mean, I know he did a lot of bad stuff, but he was good to me, so I don't have any bad memories of
That's
him.
it. That's it. You know, that's why I love when you know, sometimes the job has him traveling and it's just me and the
Hmm.
Lord and whoever the guests are. But when he slows down enough to where he can come on and hang out with me, I promise you, you be just dropping nuggets, and I'll be like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you
Gotta
have
get
to be
that
willing to
rest.
receive them too. You have to, those
Did
are
you?
gold nuggets. If I don't get
Yes,
receive it, I'm messing up my little jewels. So
that's
my
it.
hands is open. Keep
That's
dropping them.
it.
I'm right here.
That's it. Did you get that, Mister? We you got jewels that you can drop while she flowing. I'm trying, sis. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Little bit by
He gonna
little.
come. He gonna come around. He gonna come around. I have faith. He gonna come around.
He's already doing it. Oh my goodness. Now, just I gotta ask this. I asked this powerhouse globetrotter from last week if there was one thing that you could change in your life right now, what would it be? One thing,
Nothing.
just one.
I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for the journey that I had to take back then. There's
That's
not
it.
one thing, not one thing. Even and like I say this, a lot of people are like, you wouldn't take just bringing your son back. I love my son, but he was a gift that was given to me for a reason and for a season, and I'm gonna have to honor what was meant for my life. I
Mm.
wouldn't change anything because I love who I am today, and it's
Oh,
because of what I went through that I am who I am today.
that's
Every
awesome.
single bit of it.
Mm. That's awesome. That's awesome. Did anybody receive that on tonight to know that the journey that you went through was for where you are right now? You know, if I could change it, I would change this. If I could change it, I would change that. But then how would that offset, as you said, your journey
Exactly.
to get you to where you are now?
Hmm. I used to
So
say
what
that I would not be with my ex-husband, but I wouldn't have my kids.
right,
So
right. So you needed
no,
that in order to have them to get to where you are now. So
and I
we just
wouldn't
say
change it.
thank you. You know, I
Thank you.
used to, we did I wrote the book called We Can Make It Work, volumes 1 and 2. And I was encouraging as we counseled every one of those that hurt you, that misused you, misguided you, mistreated you, you ought to send them a thank you letter. If you can't send them a thank you letter, whenever you see them, you ought to tell them thank you. I
Thank
am
you.
where I am
I
today
love that.
because of you.
I really love that.
I am
Now,
where I
and
am today. What you
I
thanking
needed.
me for? It was because of you that I stayed the journey, that I stayed the course,
Hmm.
that I kept my mind on Jesus, and I am where I am today because
Hmm.
of you. So thank you. If you hadn't hurt me, if you hadn't mistreated me, if you hadn't abused me, if you hadn't fought me, if you hadn't told me no,
Hmm.
if you hadn't fired me from that job, if you didn't
Right.
give me, if you hadn't given me that position,
I
if I
love
couldn't
it.
buy that house, couldn't live in the neighborhood I wanted to live in, everything
Hmm.
that was negative in my life, I want to say thank you. That
Thank
because
you.
of you, I am where I am. Because of
Exactly.
him, you got your bachelor's. Because of him, you got your master's that push you, that made you
Hmm.
persevere and become
Yes.
resilient to fight to get to where you are. Was there fear? Yes, there was fear,
Yes. Oh,
but it
every
wasn't
day.
enough to stop you from getting to where you are now.
No,
And we
ma'am.
say thank you. We say thank you
Thank
because you made it,
you.
because you survived. And because of you, we're here tonight to share with those that are coming behind you that it's okay and you can survive.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
powerful is
Yes,
that?
you can.
Real powerful.
Yes, you
Oh my
can.
goodness.
Yes, you can.
Yes. Yes.
Real
So thank
powerful.
you for what you went through to get to where you
You're
are, to
welcome.
bless those that you've already blessed.
You're welcome. I'll do it
Yes.
again.
Yes.
I did
Oh,
forget to mention I have a support group that starts actually this Thursday.
okay.
It's called Unbroken Circle. It's a free resource for domestic survivors and survivors of sexual assault of any kind. Um,
Okay.
my email address is in here on here. You can email me, reach out to me. It is a free service. I'm going to be. It's a community. I'm trying to do my part again to help the community grow. So if you want to have somebody who you can lean on or make connections with other women and again men
That's
who
it.
need that support, please reach out to me because I want to make sure because not everyone can pay for coaching. Not
Right.
everyone can pay for master skills. Sometimes people are out here with nothing.
That's
So I
it.
don't care. You don't have to be rich to get you should not have to be rich to have support. So If anyone wants to reach out to me to be a part of that group, it's every Thursday. It was 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I'm bumping it down an hour. It's no, I'm sorry, Central Standard Time. It's going to be 6 p.m. Central Standard Time instead of 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
But what
And
time for us? What time would it be Eastern Standard Time?
7 p.m. It will be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're an hour
Okay.
ahead. So I'm doing Chicago time. So it's
So
going to be
7
7
p.m.
p.m.
Eastern. Okay.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Time, and you go back. It's an hour back after that. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so I want everyone who wants the help, come get the help. If if you need a place where you can feel safe, you do not have to speak. You can speak. You can hear the stories of others. I
Mhm.
also will be providing tools, free resources to anybody in that group to help them heal. Like I said, I'm a big on journaling, affirmations. Those who will be in that group will have access to those for free.
I tagged our friend Paula Stiles, who lost her son 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Hit and run, kept going, and she's been on a journey trying to heal. So I tagged her, and I will tell her about this unbroken circle. Make sure you send the information to me so that I can tag it and share it,
Yes, ma'am.
because we know there are a lot of people that need it,
That's right.
um, and
That's
sometimes they
right.
don't want to be openly
Hmm.
tagged. You know,
Yes,
they'll
ma'am.
come and join, but I want everybody to know my business. You know how we are.
Yes, ma'am.
But you need the healing, you need the information, you need the circle. And shout out to Pastor Rachel Florno, that's in the over here on the West Coast. They have a wild group called Women's Outreach Worship, I think it is.
Hmm.
And they actually meet. They do like segmented prayer time. They started doing different conferences live in different areas so that the healing can begin, and those that are able can come out and join and come together. Different organizations, I like for them to send me information, then I can share it to other people. But there are a lot of people that are doing things that are in different areas. And like I say, bless you for doing the online. Bless Luciana Adams for what she's doing in her
Yes.
community in Ohio, meeting with those women coming out. And even in the midst of her trying to have her women's group meeting and battling with her daughter being sick, the group
Yes.
go
Oh,
on. So when we birth it, it doesn't stop with us. The work doesn't
yes.
stop. You have someone else that can carry it on. So shout out to her and prayers for her daughter
Mwah.
in the midst of everything that
I'm
she
gonna call
does.
you, sis.
Here's Amanda Harris, the
Yes.
survivors battling with her
Yes.
mom and sickness with her mom and
Hmm.
trying to do her podcast. So as you said
Yes.
earlier, the attack will be on anything that's close to you.
Yes.
So expect
Yes.
that. And that's what our overseer always told us. Shout out to our overseer, Apostle Lucinda Rich, that if that ministry or that work is great, the attack is even greater.
Is greater. Yes.
That's it. That's it. And
Yes.
can you stand the storm in the midst of that attack?
That's it.
Yes, you
Oh my
can.
goodness. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, you can. Believe in
Good.
yourself if you can. You can.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So any shout outs to anyone right now?
You said all my shout outs to Miss Amanda, to Miss Luciana, Miss Cassandra. You know, you said I met them. I met Miss Walker and through Miss Luciana. I was on
Yes.
her. She was interviewed. You were on. She was on your show, and I'm like, hey
Yes.
sis. So
Yes.
I'm everybody who I know. I met them through you, and they all are like those are my sisters. I've only met them a couple of months ago. I was on Amanda's show, Open Letters to a Survivor, and we just
Yes.
LinkedIn, and they've been my sisters ever since. They actually were co-hosts on both of my summits. Amanda,
I saw
Luciana,
that.
Cassandra, Miss Lena. Not all at the same time. They do it when they can, but I mean, we just kind of stuck together, and we started this little community. And they're a part of my unbroken circle as well. Like we support each other so much.
That's
I've
good.
never seen that much support ever, ever until I
That's good.
started my healing journey.
That's it. And I met
So,
Luciana through Amanda's podcast.
oh,
Yes, and she always share her testimony about her and Veronica,
Hmm.
and how Miss Veronica saved her life. And oh my
okay,
goodness, when I say that just blew me away. But I know God is real, and when you hear that testimony again, you know God is
That's
real.
right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because he'll put the
Exactly
right
right.
person in the right place. If you really want
Mm-hmm.
healing, if you really
That's
want
right.
deliverance,
But you got to
Yes.
first be willing.
you
Yes.
got to be willing. That's it. That's it.
Exactly.
You got to want to heal.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
some folk like to wallow in their pity,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and love
Yes.
for others to wallow in their pity as well. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't uh, coherent with that, they'll shy away from you, and they're constantly going through it over and over, day after day, year after
Mm-hmm.
year, never receive that healing
Right.
because some folks love to have pity upon
Yes,
them,
they do. Woe is
not
And
me.
I
recognizing
will
that pity is a sin.
Yep.
release
Yep.
you with love.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
will
it.
release. If I try to help you heal, and you want to pull me down, I'm gonna have to let go of your hand so that I can rise. And maybe one day I can reach back down to see if you're ready to, if you're over that
That's
pity
right.
party. But until then, I release you with love.
Mm. I
Release
put
you.
that in the
That's
chat too. I make sure I put that in the chat. I release you with love.
I
That
release you
sounds
with
like one of
love.
those things that they go to the beach and they, have these things and they let them go up in the air and say, "I release
Yes.
you with love."
You know, it's funny. My daughter sent me a TikTok reel with a rapper named Kevin Gates. I cannot stand the rap these days, but he said that I release it. Anyone that does not serve me, I release you with love. That's the
I
best
saw that.
I've ever heard, and
He's a
that's where I
great
got that
motivated
from.
speaker too.
He is. He's a beautiful. Now,
Very,
like I said,
very
he might be a
intelligent
good
young
rap
man.
artist, but not to me. I love to hear him speak. I love to hear him
Very
speak.
intelligent young man. Very intelligent.
Yes. And I gave him his credit. Don't sue me, Kevin Gates, because I put you on my YouTube channel. But those words were some of the most powerful words I've ever heard in my life. And when I
Hmm.
heard that, I heard it last year, and I'll click on my phone right now and I'll play it on the day that I'm starting to feel like, oh my God, I have to call somebody. I feel obligated to somebody, and I'll play it. I release
That's
you
it.
with love, and
That's
it
it.
puts
That's
me right back
awesome.
on the straight and narrow. So
That's it. I love it.
that's my motto. I love
That's
you,
it.
but we're no longer on alignment. You no longer serve my energy, the purpose, and we're not in the
Mm.
same, on the same path. And I love you, and I value you. So
Wow, that's powerful though.
Yeah,
That I release
yeah,
you with
yeah,
love. And can we, if we could really do that? Oh my goodness, I think a
yeah.
whole sledge of
yes,
healing will take place if we could just first
yes,
of all release them, and then second of all release them with love.
with a love, and that
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
hardest thing I had to do. It was hard for me. It wasn't easy. I mean, I had a lot of anger. People, I've gone through a lot. To think I wasn't mad at some of those people, I was. But I
Right.
had to learn how to say I forgive you. I couldn't forgive myself if I can't forgive you.
That's it. That's it. Shout out to our New Orleans fam. We used to go to New Orleans for the New Year's,
Hmm.
and every year we do like messages and put them in like balloons.
That's right.
And then when
Oh,
12 midnight hit, all the whatever it was that we were trying to release, we had put it on a note and put it in that balloon and release it in the
okay.
air. Oh my goodness, the tears and the hugging and
Yes,
man, that
yes.
was that was powerful, wasn't it?
That's it.
Yeah, that was something else. So little
That's
things, little gestures here and there, whatever it takes. We went to a retreat in where was that? With Katina them,
Oh, Beaufort, South Carolina.
Beaufort, South Carolina, and my husband and them built a fire,
mhm.
and then we wrote it down on paper. Whatever we were not going to take into away from that gathering that we were at. We're gonna
Mhm.
leave trauma, leave hurt, leave
Gonna release
pain.
it.
We're gonna
Right.
release it. And we put it in
Release
the
it.
fire and we began to pray and just ask God to just take it away. And then we walked away. That means that you left all of that weight
Yes.
right there at that place. And we
Exactly.
went
And you have
on
to
and
do the work. When you release
yeah,
it, you have to
yeah,
keep it there. Don't bring it
that's it.
back.
That's it. And we had an awesome time. We really did. So, like you say, whatever it takes to help them on their healing journey or their
Yes,
time of
ma'am.
forgiveness. And then remembering the scripture said that if you don't forgive them, your Father in heaven won't forgive you. So you got to let it go. You got to let it go. We make a joke about it now, but I say, a whole lot of times in relationships, they make you mad. Oh, they got to buy you diamonds and rings and cars and, do all this stuff for you to forgive them. But that ain't what the
Mm-hmm.
Bible said. Say if you don't forgive them,
Mm-mm.
you got to do it right then. But how many
Right.
years? How many years do we just hold on to it? And then way after a while, I forgive you. But that's not what God said. So if you don't forgive them, God won't forgive you. So we got to let it go so we can grow and be forever growing.
That's right.
Amen. Amen. It has
That's
been a
right.
beautiful, beautiful night. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you
It
calling all the way from
has.
Costa Rica to hang out with
Costa
us,
Rica.
hanging with the walkers. And I just pray something that was said, quoted tonight will help
Please.
those that are on their healing journey to get better, stronger, and wiser.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Amen.
Yes, yes. Know that we love you. Truly, there's nothing you can do about it. You know to text me or email me, whatever. Just say hey. You don't have to explain it sometime, but just pray, and we're on it. All right. Have an
All
awesome
right.
night. Tell my brother we brothers and sisters to the T.
I'm gonna get them for you. I'm gonna get them for you.
All right, all right. Love you. Have a good
Love
night.
you. Mwah.
Mwah. All right. Forever Growing by the one and only Barbara Walker, written and sung by me. It is available on all digital platforms. Please vote for me for Traditional Artist of the Year, and I'll send you the information. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Mwah.